Okay, so now we have it not crashing and we have the power of the external GPU of the Surface Pro 4 as engineered by myself. We can hit run and see if we can play the game. As you can see, we load in, renders perfectly. You get a solid 60 FPS gaming, but then because even this setup is too weak, we drop FPS slightly. The whole goal of this game is to kill the Bonzi buddies, you being the Scratch Cat. This is your arch nemesis, and you must defeat all of them. And you have a gun, and you have to experience this purest of best gaming moments using your premium FPS counter that is incredibly broken. And then we just have to keep going and going and going, and it still works perfectly. Because that's what this game does. It's a big map, it's running at 2K resolution, should be running at 60 FPS, which is clearly evident. And it's all the sprites you see, the Scratch Cat, the Bonzies that I kill, and the background and the wood textures all created by myself in the best editing software ever, MS Paint. And you can see it is perfectly titled, it is a movable window, sticky keys of course, perfectly round bullets. Now to get on with the epic code. This is the main class, loads and loads of stuff. Got creation of the thread, the output, or the import, so did scanner, because who doesn't like a scanner? And we've got the 2K res, which causes it to be slow FPS. We've got the handler, which we'll go over later on. I've got the level, all the loading stuff, which takes these images over here, loads them in. The game map I'll go down further down. This starts the thread, which starts the game. This stops it if the window is closed and stops it from mega lagging. That's just rubbish code. This is the run method, which is causing it to be so laggy, because eat RAM. So we've got all these codes. It's just set so I can see the FPS counter, which is incredibly broken. This little section is what makes everything tick and run. So without this, it will just be a blank image of nothing. And then here is the tick method, which deals with the actual running and the processing of all the commands and stuff and making them move. The handler, again, I'll go over in a bit. And then got render, which creates the actual images using the graphics methods. For loops, just to draw the floors. And then this here, this takes the game map image, which is the highly customizable option for get custom game maps, as all you have to do is create a nice little game map using MS Paint, and all you have to do is just import that right into this res folder right here, and you just shove that in there. It detects the colors and it shoves objects on there, lagging up the game just a little bit more. Okay, now over to the handler method. This is what deals with all of the objects in the game and tells it to do stuff. And this is like where the input comes in. So it's got booleans. It just returns positive and negative whether it's being pushed or not. This, I can't remember what it does. This, I think it's just an abstract class kind of thing going on. And this is an array list of all of the objects in the game, which is probably causing up some of the lag. This is the start of the game object. Game object is everything is a child of the game object class. Without this, they're all stupid and they break. That's why I've got the abstract methods to make sure everything is taken care of. They all have ID set to them, that's for collision stuff. And then we also have just getters and setters that are boring. This is the main player, very boring. Got two images, boring stuff here. This just based on those Boolean variables we saw in the handler class, sets the speed, shift is sprint, sets speed to double. This just gets the setters again. That's rendering, so when it's facing one direction, the velocity is that, it will change the image to the right and the left, because that's what happens when you switch. This is just the bounds for collision and stuff. Here's the collision method, or does it just stop you straight in your tracks when you run into something? It's just the IDs if anyone cared. And this is the image loader for all of the images and stuff if anyone cared. And this is the window for when the game runs. It's just a JFrame, no one cares. And this is the sprite sheet, which is redundant because I never used it, and this is just awful. Anyway, this is the mouse input. It is where you click and it fires a bullet out of your inside and in a general direction. It just gets the X and Y and fires an object and based on the relative distance and the velocity. So if you fire really, really close to your character, the bullet goes unimaginably slow. So it's not a mild bug, it's a power up. The key input is just a VK shift, V key event kind of thing, so it triggers the booleans in the handler class. Boring. Camera, that's just allows the camera to move around and stuff, so does that. That's on purpose, 100% on purpose. The FPS count started working, so that's always a bonus. So you see when you load in, when you walk off the screen, the camera moves. That's what to be expected. And this is a very good, solid 60 FPS game experience with the power up and additional purchase using the in-game XP points of slowing time. It's an automatic power up. That's not an FPS drop. Trust me. And the lagging, that's a teleport ability. So don't you question it. And the occasional Bonzi bouncing through the blocks, that's just a harder enemy to hit. And you see that this is him not moving. That's not broken. It's just he's waiting for you. He's mocking you. And it takes 2 hits to kill them. So that's the camera class. Let's move on to the actual enemies wherever they've gone. Right here, passive enemy. It just inherits the handler, does some stuff, loads the image, bounces off walls violently every time it runs into a block, as you would if you were a really badly coded thing. Bullet class, it's a bullet. It goes the direction of where the mouse was. You saw that. Key input, we've seen that. That we've seen. Block, it's a block. I think this might be redundant, or it might be the wood. I'm not sure. And I think that's all of the code. Probably. Nope. Yeah, that's good enough. And I've got all of these custom images here. We've got this sprite, we've got this sprite, we've got another one, we've got another one, and we've got this one as well. This one was the original. It was supposed to section it off based on the location on this grid kind of thing, but then it had a fatal crash. So we just did individual images as it was much easier. And that is it. Crash.